1 Samuel chapter 25. Certainly, here's a slightly rewritten version of the passage. Upon Samuel's passing, all the Israelites gathered to mourn and bury him at his house in Ramah. Subsequently, David left and journeyed to the wilderness of Paran. In Maon, there lived a wealthy man whose possessions were in Carmel. He was prominent and owned 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. This man was named Nabal, and his wife was Abigail. She was intelligent and attractive, while Nabal was harsh and wicked in his dealings. He hailed from the house of Caleb. While in the wilderness, David received news that Nabal was shearing his sheep in Carmel. David dispatched 10 young men, instructing them to go to Carmel, greet Nabal in his name, and offer peaceful words. David's message was for Nabal's well-being, his household's peace, and the welfare of all his belongings. David's men had interacted with Nabal's shepherds in the past, and had not harmed them or taken anything. They were treated well while guarding the sheep. David's young men spoke to Nabal, delivering their message. Afterward, they waited for Nabal's response. Nabal retorted to David's messengers, "Who is David? Who is the son of Jesse? Nowadays, many servants break away from their masters. Should I take my bread, water, and meat meant for my shearers and give it to people I don't even know?" David's young men returned to him and reported Nabal's response. David instructed his men, "Each of you put on your swords." They did so, including David. About 400 men followed David, while 200 stayed to guard their belongings. One of the young men informed Abigail, Nabal's wife, about the incident. He told her that David's messengers had been insulted by Nabal. The young man praised David's men for their conduct, explaining that they had been a protective barrier both day and night while guarding the sheep. Abigail quickly gathered provisions, including 200 loaves of bread, 2 bottles of wine, 5 dressed sheep, 5 measures of roasted grain, 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 fig cakes. She loaded these items on donkeys. She instructed her servants to go ahead while she followed behind. However, she didn't inform Nabal about this. As Abigail was on her way, riding on her donkey, she met David and his men descending the hill. David had previously considered protecting Nabal's possessions in vain, as he had received nothing but rudeness in return. Abigail dismounted from her donkey, bowed before David, and fell on her face. She paid her respects to him. Abigail pleaded, "Let this iniquity be on me, my lord. Please allow me to speak, and listen to my words. Please disregard Nabal's wickedness, for his name suits him. Folly is with him. I did not see the young men you sent. Please, my lord, as the Lord lives, and as your soul lives, the Lord has restrained you from shedding blood and avenging yourself with your own hand. May your enemies and those who seek evil for you be as Nabal. Here, I brought a gift for you, my lord. Please, let it be given to the young men who follow you. Please forgive your servant's trespass. The Lord will certainly establish a lasting house for you, my lord, because you fight the battles of the Lord, and no evil is found in you throughout your life. Even though someone rises to pursue you and seek your life, the Lord your God will secure your life like a precious treasure. He will sling out the lives of your enemies from the hollow of a sling. When the Lord has done well for you, please remember your servant." David responded, "Blessed is the Lord God of Israel, who sent you to meet me this day. Blessed is your advice, and blessed are you, for you have kept me from bloodshed and avenging myself. By the Lord God of Israel who has prevented me from harming you, if you had not hurried and come to meet me, surely by morning light, not a single male of Nabal's household would have remained alive." David accepted what Abigail had brought and said, "Go up to your house in peace. I have listened to your voice and granted your request." When Abigail arrived at Nabal's house, he was holding a feast like that of a king. Nabal was in high spirits due to excessive drinking, so Abigail refrained from speaking to him until morning. However, when Nabal's intoxication wore off the next morning and Abigail told him everything that had transpired, his heart failed him, and he became like a stone. About 10 days later, the Lord struck Nabal, and he died. Upon learning of Nabal's death, David remarked, "Blessed be the Lord, who has pleaded my cause against Nabal and has prevented me from doing evil. The Lord has returned Nabal's wickedness upon his own head." David then sent messengers to Abigail to propose marriage. When David's servants arrived at Abigail's residence in Carmel, they conveyed David's intention to marry her. Abigail prostrated herself and said, "Let me be a servant to wash the feet of my lord's servants." Abigail promptly gathered her things, along with 5 maidservants, and followed David's messengers. She became David's wife. David also married Ahinoam of Jezreel, and both women became his wives. Saul had previously given David's wife, Michal, to Palti, son of Laish, from Galilee.